Hello, welcome. This is Sports Tonight, reaching you live from Channels TV Sports Center in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm Austin Okonapan. Let's begin on the sad note. Kelechi, the caterpillar Emefiele, is dead. That's a sad one for football in Nigeria. For everyone that knows him and everything he did for football in this country, tributes are pouring in. We will miss him so much. He died after undergoing surgery for throat cancer in India. So he was 66 years old, and then a lot of football followers in the country have received the news with shock, and we can only pray for him and his family at this time. His footballing soul will rest in peace. A lot of tributes are pouring in for Kelechi Emefiele, nicknamed the Caterpillar, for his no-nonsense approach as a defender. Emefiele was part of the second runners-up placed Nigerian team at the 10th Africa Cup of Nations in Ethiopia in 1976. You also recall that his goal against Morocco in an April 3rd, 1976 Olympic Games qualifying match against the then newly crowned African champions, technically qualified Nigeria for the ill-fated Montreal 1976 games. Kelechi Emefiele can be remembered for a lot of things. He also coached elite domestic teams in Nigeria, including Aimba Football Club, Aba Rangers International, Lobby Stars, Heartland Football Club, Owerri, El Kanemi Warriors. And between 2007 and 2009, he was head coach of the beach soccer national team, the Super Sand Eagles. Now, you know, that's a man that has been there, done that for football in Nigeria. Now it's no more. Kelechi Emefiele will definitely be missed. And then what's coming from the league management company says March day 26th will be used to honor the Nigerian football legend, Kelechi Emefiele. Players will wear armbands as we continue to pray for his soul to rest in peace. It's a sad one right there, but what can we do? The show can go on. Let's quickly bring you into everything that we'll be doing tonight on the program. You know our feedback mechanisms on Twitter, channels_sports, Facebook, channels like sports. You can also send us an email to sportstonight@channelstv.com. Keep the tributes coming in for Kelechi, the caterpillar Emefiele. I remember the last time I saw him as an admirable passion for football. We can only pray that his gentle soul rest in peace. So you can also talk to us just about anything, and just also let you know that our top stories can be viewed on our website, channelstv.com, and on YouTube/channels web. If you're on the go, you can download the Channels TV app for your iPad, your iPhone, your BlackBerry, your iOS, your Windows phones, and your Android phone can also do. Just go to m.channelstv.com, log on to it, download the app, and be part of everything that I'll be doing tonight on the program. It's that simple. It's an action-packed world of sports. So whatever it is you want to talk about in your world of sports, we're right here to do it. We keep telling you that this show is designed for you. So come let us play for the love of the game. What's the updates? The Zenith Women Basketball League. We're through with the Festons. We hear that they're moving to Asaba. That's what's coming from basketball officials in Nigeria. We'll be very careful because these days we don't even know where to go as regards leadership with our. But yes, the stories that we're getting ready for the next phase of the league, talking about women's basketball in Nigeria. Let's come back now. We're still getting reactions as regards everything that went down at the just concluded National Sports Federation's elections. You know the story. A lot of talking points coming out of that one, but in the end, we'll try to challenge it, channel it to the corner where it will be all about development. Yeah, that's the key word, development for sports in Nigeria, because some people are aggrieved. Some says, look, the election didn't go the way it should have gone. Others are getting ready to go to the appeals committee. But for those that won, they're getting ready to also get down to business. We had Frank Obi last night, and he's saying, look, for us in badminton, we want to be united and start working. And also, we spoke to Boye, also the same story for squash. They want to be united, start working. Godwin Kenka is a known figure when you talk about tennis development in Nigeria. He joins us now live in the studio. Godwin, good to have you on Sports Tonight.
Always a pleasure.
Fantastic. I was close to say, President, he actually, you were supposed to contest at the election. I was there, and then what really happened? You didn't contest at the election.
Yes, in my case, it was a bit strange, as I let people know, but because I was accredited, I was allowed to vote, but I wasn't allowed to be voted for. So that That was the bureaucracy at its best. And what happened was that they said the president and the vice president had to be nominated from you have to be a zonal representative or an institution representative, which was not in the guidelines leading up to the elections, and which was also put aside. I mean, when those issues were raised about zonal representation and institutional representation, the Honorable Minister made it clear that independent candidacy for vice president and presidency were allowed, and it was, as far as the guidelines were concerned, it was accommodated in the guidelines. But the bureaucrats who had their own agenda found a way to target a few people. But it's not a problem for me.
But it should be, Godwin, and that's all what I understand. What agenda? Because we hear judo, some persons had an agenda. Hockey, some persons had an agenda. What was the agenda?
I can explain that.
I want to understand.
I can explain that. But I need to make the point that it's a small price for me to pay as chairman of the Sports Reform Committee to be, whatever way you put it, targeted, excluded, or something, because somebody wanted a pound of flesh. The origin, of course, was that the Sports Reform Committee, by our recommendation, excluded staff of the Ministry of Youth and Sports from being in federations, because we thought that they could not be supervisors.
And that made sense. You cannot supervise a game that you're taking part in.
And then the elections were always a means or forum, a platform for ministry staff over the years to make hay by this kind of manipulation of lists and all that. Before this time, we had 13 people forming the Electoral College. And all they need was to manipulate 7 representatives in favor of one candidate. And you had Ghana must go bags. I was in the 2000 election, and I could see firsthand what was going on.
Was this year's election transparent?
I think, for the most part, it was.